me press the button here on the side. There you go. I can switch here. So if I press that, there you go. Blind starts closing. So this is the whole idea of buying a switch with multiple buttons. Hi guys, today we're setting up and testing out some smart Zigbee touch switches. So these particular ones are from Zemismart. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. Now for these switches to work, you're going to need one of these. It's a Zigbee gateway and it works in conjunction with this. These particular switches don't require neutral wire. So this is one of the issues with smart Wi-Fi switches, where they always require a neutral wire. So these ones don't, so that's a big bonus here. So if you have an older property, a lot of the time the circuit behind the switch doesn't contain a neutral wire, so this overcomes that. So 3 variations of this. You've got a single switch, double switch and triple switch. Each pack comes with a set of instructions which are in English and 2 screws, and that's it. Looking at one of the switches, in terms of build wise, they're all identical. The only difference is the number of switches on there. Now looking over here, you've got a glass finish on there, 3 buttons obviously indicated by an icon there, and then a plasticky finish all the way around. Looking on the back just highlights the fact it's a Zigbee wall switch, no neutral on there. Your live goes in there and your switch live goes over here. Now if you're considering buying one of these, keep in mind, even if you have a single light switch, buy something with more buttons on, like this one. Even if you just use one switch, you can make use of the other buttons to do other smart things. So I'll be showing that a bit later on. Now, to get going with this, first of all, you can see for yourself there's no screw holes on this, so it's quite a nice flush finish with it. And to pop it open, just get a screwdriver, put it into the gap, and just gently twist. And now opening it up, you can see that's what that reveals. You can see the 3 buttons here. And just to show you the circuit behind there. Now I have done another smart Zigbee switch, and just to show how that compares to this, this is the one I've already done. I'll include links in the description for this one as well. And this is more of a clicky one, just to show. And with this one, obviously being glass and a touch switch, it's just a matter of going over there and just gently touching it, and it will turn it on and off. And just to show the difference in circuits between the 2 switches, size wise, it's a standard light switch size, and coming in all here, this is all plasticky. Build quality seems reasonable on this. Okay, so I'm at my light switch that I'm going to replace, and I've isolated the power, so if I turn this on, the lights above aren't turning on in the room. So next, let me take the screws out of this. Okay, so the screws are out. I've flipped around the light switch. You can see the common connection here and L1 here. So the common one will be live and the one up here is switched live. So looking at the new switch, just to give you an idea where to connect it. So where it says L, the COM one would be connected in there. So this one over here, and in L1, we can just connect up the L1 over here. We'll leave out L2 and L3. That's just for demo purposes, so I can show the smart side of things working. So let me remove the wires and put them onto the new switch. And there you go. The wires are now screwed into the back of the switch. So it's just a matter of now putting the switch back onto the wall. So the switch is on now. We can put the cover on it, and there's some notches on here. So if we come in at the top, clip on the notches, and then that's it, push it down. As simple as that. Nice flush finish on there. And just to show it from an angle, I've turned the power back on, and this is what we're presented with. There's actually 3 lights on the switch, and if I look over here, this is L1, L2 and L3. Now if I press this one, nothing will happen. Obviously nothing's wired into this one. Press that one, nothing happens there either. And now finally if I press that, you can see sort of the lights have just turned on above me, and if I now press it again, turns off. So it works fine. It's not even configured. You can just use it as a standard switch if you wanted to. So if you did like the look of it, you could just install it just like this. No issues with that. And just to show, if I press around the area, nothing happens. It doesn't turn on. It's only when you actually get on there. And you don't have to press too hard either. This is literally a light touch on there and it's turning on and turning off. Now I'd be interested to see what this is like in a completely dark room. and you'll see a subtle light in the background. So let's make a start at setting up this switch. So I'm on my Android phone here. If I go to the Play Store, we have two options here, either the Smart Life app or 2Year app, both identical in usage. I'm going to go for the Smart Life app because that's what I normally use. It's already installed for me, so if I click open, if you haven't got an account, I've said this before, obviously register an account, and once you sign in, this is what you'll be presented with. Now, if you look below there, you can see all the other smart devices I have. Plus, I've set up different rooms with smart devices. So for this one, what we need to do, we need to go to the smart gateway here, and this is the Zigbee gateway. So if I click on here, and you can see in there, we've got studio light switch already set up. So that's the one I previously showed as a comparison to this one. So now if I click add subsource, and it's saying we need to get the switch in a blinking state. So if I hold on to the button for a moment, you can see there it's blinking away now. So if I select LED already blink, and there you go, it's already found it, click done. And that's what it's shown as, 3-gang L switch. Click done to that. Now if we come back, all devices. Now looking in here, you can see the switch just here. And just to give you a comparison, the other switch I showed you, the Zigbee one, that one's here. And you can see for yourself, you've got a shortcut to control it, but on the newer one, you don't have that. So to control it and turn things on and off, you just go in there and you can press the button here. And you can see over there, the light just turns off, and I'll click it, that one, and that one's turned off as well. So now let me briefly show the options. Now if I click on the edit there, you can rename the device, change the icon if you wanted to. You've got device information. That has details on connectivity to the gateway. Then you've got tap to run an automation. This is any automation you've set up with the device. And now third-party controls. These are the third-party controls it can work with. And as you can see there, it works with the Alexa and Google Assistant. Offline notifications, you can be notified if it's gone offline. Share device, so you can share devices with other people. They can control the device. Then you've got create group, so you can create a group with multiple devices in there to work in conjunction. Then we've got FAQ and feedback, add to home screen, check for firmware update, and remove device. Coming back again, long press to edit switch name. So if I hold on to that, there you go, you can rename these individual switches. And looking down below, you've got all on, timer, and all off. So if I click on all on, obviously they all turn on. And now if I click all off, they all turn off. Now in the middle, you've got timer. So if I click on that, for each switch, you can set either a countdown. So if I just go like so, and hit the play on there, that will set a countdown for 2 hours time, so the switch will turn off in 2 hours. So quite useful if you're going to bed and you just wanted the light on for an hour, you can set a timer on there and the switch will automatically turn off the lights. And then looking in schedule, you can set a timer for the lights to come on and off. That's another good option as well. So if you're on holiday and you're away from home and you wanted to set a timer so the lights come on automatically at certain times, you can do that. And now looking on here, you can select the days you want to use, set a time, and the action you want performed, either on or off. So you'd set one to turn the lights on, and then set another schedule to turn the lights off. So it's as simple as that. Now coming back from here, back again, and that's it. It's as simple as that to get set up, as you've seen, and usability wise, it's very simple. I like the fact, unlike other switches, this one actually has a countdown timer as well, which I think would be quite useful. Okay, so next, let's test out the smart functionality with the switch. So I've renamed it to Loft Switch, you can see there. And if I click on Smart at the bottom, click on Automation, and we can set up our own smart automation here. If I click on the plus, when device status changes, loft switch, and this is what's available. So you can see each of the switches, on and off position on there, and then below that you've got countdown as well. So if a countdown's going, you could get something happening in conjunction as well. So for instance, if you had a countdown set and when it got to near enough 0, you could have it turning off a plug, for example. So if you had your TV on in the room, you could get that turning off automatically as well. But keep in mind, these smart rules only work if you have Wi-Fi working. If your Wi-Fi goes down, it's not going to work. So now coming back from here, coming back again and back, this is what I've already set up. What I've done, I've got smart blinds in this room together with an LED strip at the side. Now, if you watch me press the button here on the side, there you go. So I've got a rule set up. So looking on my phone, clicking here, you can see there when the switch is turned off, the third one, the LED switched off, and coming back from there, looking on the next one, if the switch is turned on, turn on the LEDs. So how clever is that? It's not physically wired together in any way, it's just using these smart scenes to get it working. So now if I come back from there, what I've also done, I've done the same sort of functionality with the blind engine I've got in here. So if I come in here, you can see if the switch is turned off, then close the blind. And then looking in here, if the switch is turned on, open the blind. And that's the second switch here. So if I press that, there you go, blind starts closing. So this is the whole idea of buying a switch with multiple buttons on there, even if you've only got a single circuit on there. So you could make use of it maybe even at a later stage. So keep that in mind when you're purchasing it. You can make other things work as well. Even for instance, if you had a lamp in the room, but keep in mind as well that those things have to be left on permanently, and it's the smart tech that sort of turns it on and off. So next, let's test out remote connectivity. So if I drop this down, turn off my Wi-Fi, let it connect to 4G, it's connected now, and if I press the button here, there you go, the lights turn off. If I press this button, blinds open. If I press this one, the lights in the room turn on. So how cool is that? Remotely you can control all this tech, and the advantage of that is if you're out and about and you wanted to turn on your lights, giving the impression you're home, you could easily do that. So next, let's test out voice control on this with the Google and Amazon devices. So it's the same thing as I've shown previously in other videos. If I go to the home app here, let's show on the Google device. If I click on the plus, set up device, works with Google. You just got to add in the service for Smart Life. It'll ask for your credentials. It will link in with the service. Now coming back from there, and if we scroll down, and there we have it. So you've got Loft 1, Loft 2, and Loft 3. So these are the switches here. I've renamed each of those to be called that, and the main switch itself is called Loft Switch. So you can turn it on and off completely from here. So now if I go to Loft 3, for instance, turn it on, there you go, it turns on, turns off. Coming back from there, same with Loft 2 switch. If I turn it off, there you go, blinds start closing, turn it on, start opening again. And same applies for this, but it does it with all the switches. So if I now press this one, everything kicks in, and I press it, the off, and it all turns off. So excellent bit of functionality here. You've got all your shortcuts, and it's just as simple as on and off with this, nothing more. So now if I unmute my device,
the microphone is back on.
I can say turn on Loft 3.
Sure, turning on Loft 3.
Turn off Loft 3.
Okay, turning off Loft 3.
There you go, simple as that, and works well. Next, let's show the same functionality with the Amazon device. So coming in here, clicking at the bottom on more, skills and games, and if we search for Smart Life, there's a skill, enable it, enter in your credentials, and the skill is linked. So now coming back to devices, scrolling across all devices, and you have it there, Loft 1, Loft 2, Loft 3, and Loft Switch. And if I click on one of them, you can see that you've got a button, you can create a routine against it as well. Looking here in settings, same sort of thing you see with other smart devices, and coming back, clicking on Loft 3, there you go, lights turning on, lights turning off. And the same as before, you can control all the devices as well. So if I press that, there you go, press it again. Works well, works identically like the Google device. So now if I unmute my device, I can say, turn on Loft 3.
Okay.
Turn off Loft 3.
Okay.
There you go, simple as that, works really well. So I've closed all the blinds in the room. I just wanted to show the amount of light given off the switch. So as you can see, there's a subtle amount coming off there. Okay, so you've seen the installation and setup of this smart Zigbee touch switch. Really like this one, the fact it's just like the Wi-Fi switches where you've got a glass finish on there and it's just a light touch to use. I think compared to the other one I reviewed, which is this one here, it's a much better finish to it and a nice feel to it, a good quality feel to it. Can be wiped clean as well, which is a nice thing. And the fact it uses Zigbee, has a larger range on there. Like I've already mentioned, I think it's always worth buying a switch with multiple buttons on there, even if you only have a single button controlling your light. So as I've shown, you can get it controlling other devices, which is really good. Thing to be aware though with this one, you're going to have to buy the Zigbee gateway with this, so it will be an additional cost. But it avoids the hassle of messing around trying to get a neutral wire in your wiring circuit sorted out. So there you go, I hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. Hang around for the end cards, I'll have some more smart tech. Hit the like button if you've liked this video and drop me a comment what you think of this. If you haven't liked it, drop me a comment, let me know why you didn't like it. Thanks for viewing and see you in the next one.